Well, I'm out in the desert again, exploring abandoned mines and doing some camping. I thought it was time for another cooking video here at my campsite. Here's my new camping stove oven that I bought last summer. I only used it once, and that was a year ago when I made that French onion soup casserole. There's a video of that on my channel if you haven't seen it. Got to use the oven for the first time. But today I'm just using the stovetop. And what I'm going to make today is pretty easy. It's a dish with sliced white mushrooms, grape tomatoes, penne pasta, and Kalamata olives with a Parmesan cheese garnish. Now this sounds complicated, but it isn't. All you need are 6 ounces of penne pasta, which is about 2 1/4 cups. Right there, you see that. And then 4 ounces of sliced mushrooms from an 8-ounce package. And then you're gonna need some grape tomatoes. I think that's a pint. Some olive oil. 2 cloves of fresh garlic minced. I use the pre-minced garlic, and 1 teaspoon of that equals 1 fresh clove. So there's 2 teaspoons of minced garlic right there. In that little white container are my Kalamata olives. I have a little bit more than 1/4 cup. And in this container is my 1 ounce of Parmesan cheese, shredded. And then you're going to need 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And then you're going to need where's the next one? 1/8 a teaspoon pepper, and a 1/4 a teaspoon salt, and then 1/8 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. So the first thing you have to do is take a pot, a medium-sized pot, fill it about 2/3 full of water, and bring that to a boil so we can cook the penne pasta, which is right here. So let's get that water boiling. So while the water is coming to a boil, you can use that time to take your 1 pint of grape tomatoes and cut each one in half, like I'm doing here. Okay, my grape tomatoes are all cut in 2, and the water is just about boiling. So we'll add the penne pasta in a minute here. Okay, once you've added the penne pasta to the water, stir it every so often and let it boil 8 to 10 minutes. So I set my timer for 9 minutes. So we'll let that cook for 9 minutes. Okay, once the pasta is pretty much done or is already done cooking, you heat a medium frying pan like this one with some olive oil, about a tablespoon, and let that get hot, and then you add in your garlic and crushed red pepper flakes. I've got them mixed in there, and let that cook for about 15 to 30 seconds until it gets fragrant. And then you add in the rest of the ingredients, the tomatoes, the mushrooms, and the pepper and salt and the Italian seasoning. Okay, my skillet wasn't very hot, so it's taken a little bit longer than 15-30 seconds. This is about a minute. You can hear it sizzling. You don't want to cook this for more than about 30 seconds until it gets fragrant, until you can really smell the garlic. And that should do it. And then you add in the rest of the ingredients. Add in the tomatoes. You need 4 ounces of an 8-ounce container of sliced mushrooms, so half of this. So let's get about half of these in there. I think that's about half. And let that cook for a couple minutes until the mushrooms get tender, and you want to stir it as little as possible, because I found when I made this in the past, if you stir this too much, the tomatoes start to fall apart as they cook and get softened. So keep the stirring to a minimum. Once your tomatoes and mushrooms are pretty much cooked and tender, after about 3 minutes or so, you add the pasta, which you've already cooked, to the pot. as well as the olives, Kalamata olives, and give that a good mix. You can add your 1 ounce of grated Parmesan cheese. Like that. And that's pretty much it. Turn off the heat and let's grab a plate and plate it up and see what it looks like. So there is how it looks when it's all plated up. And let's try this. That is good stuff. Look at those cherry tomatoes, the olives, and the penne pasta. I can't think of a better way to eat dinner out here in the desert than by doing it this way. Full recipe is in this video's description, and be sure to check that out if you want to make this. And if you do make it, let me know in the comments how it comes out. I think you'll really like it. It's a pretty tasty recipe, and it's one I've made a whole bunch of times. So this was the first time making it out in the desert. So, but it tastes just as good. In fact, I think it tastes a little better. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.